Hello and welcome. W4MP3 is my name, and today we talk about old rubbish that I made X years ago. Instead of letting the partially unreleased stuff go moldy, I have decided to upcycle an old level in this episode. It goes without saying that not everything went smoothly, like taking so much time to make this episode that the thing for the next episode has already started. Just in case you didn't watch the modded Minecraft Let's Play, it's the Super Mario World Hacking Turnier 2. Well, let's begin. No time to lose. Welcome to the Müllhalde, also known as Archive. Here I have almost everything I did in the last 10 years stored. You'll find certainly something nice here. For example, there are my levels from the last Super Mario World Hacking Day Turnier from 2015 and 2016. There we can investigate, because I somehow know that there is something that has more quality than the whole TheProject. Let me give you a short overview what the tournament was about. First, you needed to apply with a level. You had no theme given, so you could build whatever you wanted. After that, the contestants were sorted by skill levels. In the first round, experienced hackers had to face other experienced hackers already. Each round had a time limit of 2 weeks, which in my case was more than enough. Accompanied was this by Buzz LP on his YouTube channel GermanSMWHT. There he had shown all qualification levels and rounds. I will show you some clips from those videos with English subtitles if necessary. Well, without further delay, I'll now present you the levels I've built, and from that we decide what level we are going to upcycle for the project. We begin with the qualification level. W4MP3's laboratory is a strange level. Today nobody would be amazed by this, but in 2015 it was something special. Animated layer 3 background and a self-made thing that moves layer 2 up or down depending on the on-off status. Well, that's it with the interesting things. This level we do not upcycle, it's too short and too weird. With that we now look at the first round. And here's the first clip that I am going to show you, which pretty much summarizes the thing I submitted in the first round.
Oh, hier ist immer noch nichts, alles klar. Was? Was zur... Was? Okay, hört euch diese Musik mal komplett an. Was zur Hölle war das? Was? Was war das?
Yeah, my humor in 2015 was 1,000 times better. Anyways, back to the level. Snow plus mountain equals the level name. The theme was, as you might have already guessed, snow. At that point of time I had never built a snow level before, mostly because I never got far enough in one of my hacks. The whole level tells a short story, from the bottom of the mountain to a small mountain hut and then to the top of the mountain. The second part of the level has an unusual wind generator. Normally you move the player to the left by changing the X position. I do things differently. I change the X speed. To be more precise, after each second global frame, which is actually not the correct variable to use, and if the game is not paused and the player is not climbing in the horizontal speed bigger than -112, then decrement the horizontal speed by 1. That level we also do not upcycle. Maybe later I will do that. Let's look at round number 2. Dhrino Sanctuary is a cave level with dino rhinos. Yeah, there's nothing more to say about that one. We already did something like that in the last episode. We just ignore this level for now. Just a quick description of the level's story. Mario enters the habitat of the Dhrinos, a subspecies of dino rhinos. Well, doing that is illegal, and because illegal bad, Mario is getting arrested for that at the end of the level. I wanted to show that again just in case you didn't watch the 5-year-old videos already. I'll keep this at the back of my head, but for now we just continue with the next level. Toad City. That is a really awful name for a level. Well, if I had the chance to name the level now, I would call it City Canal Conundrum or something similar like that. Before we look at the level, here's something interesting. On the overworld, we can press start, then this happens. I've never seen that feature anywhere. Can I call dibs on that idea? How exactly this works is something I don't want to tell you right now, because the video is already getting dangerously long. We're also not here for the overworld. We wanted to look at the level, and that one is filled with many different and weird things. For this we had to use the music you hear in the background right now. I technically broke the rules by modifying the port to make the green and red lights on the buildings blink. Story time. Toad wants you to bring the orb from the Star Tower. The police thinks this is not okay and sent a special commando to stop Mario from doing that. Plot twist, Toad is actually evil and at the end tries to defeat Mario. If you're good at the game, you defeat Toad. And that is the problem of the level. It's just too difficult, especially the Toad boss at the end. While the idea of the level is kinda interesting, we will also not port that one to the project. Let's go to the final round. Maybe we can upcycle that level. Again, one of those boring and uninspired names. At least the title describes pretty good what the goal of that level is. This level has the flood. Okay, I lied, that's a jetpack. It works a bit differently than the flood you have probably seen somewhere. Also, I coded this thing on my own to learn how to code sprites. It is really not a White Yoshi X sprite. Anyways, the level is actually really good and fun. And that's why we are going to upcycle that level for the project today. How that went? Well, here's the time lapse. Huh, no full time lapse today. Yeah, about that. I had to decide between a 40 minutes episode of the project or putting the time lapse in a separate video. Well, you can see what I've decided to do, put only parts of the time lapse here. The full one I will or have uploaded the next day. This has a nice side effect though. You can listen to the parts without me talking in the beginning or end. Anyways, just imagine that you have watched the full thing now, okay? Time's up. SMWHacking Turnier 2 has started. Sorry for not finishing this level in this episode. Anyways, as you can see, I just haven't copied the level to the project one-to-one. Instead, I've built a completely new level. The jetpack I basically have rewritten because it was just old code and not compatible with SA1 and so on. This is also my very first serious attempt to make a horizontal vertical level. I think the jetpack complements this level format greatly. It was and is kinda difficult for me to guess the length of the level. Maybe I'll get used to it in the future. Anyhow, the level is not done. I needed to make a cut somewhere in the making this level. It already took too many hours and the Super Mario World Hacking Turnier 2 has already begun. More information about that in the next episode of the project, which should come out in June, but I know it's going to be in July instead. And that's it with the project for today. Again, a freaking long episode where we didn't even finish a level. Twitter and Twitch are now on screen. Leave a like if you care and maybe ask about stuff in the comment section. Maybe if you are bored or want to see more TheProject, check out the full playlist you see on screen now, or the video on the right the YouTube algorithm has chosen for you. I bet it's not the modded Minecraft series I do monthly. I forgot something. Did I say please subscribe?